You ever had that weird feeling that a mirror is watching you back? Like, not your reflection, but something else pretending to be you? Welcome to Grandma's house. I swear, everything that happened there was real. My name's Lena, and the last time I visited my grandma was the summer before senior year. My parents were getting divorced, so they sent me to stay with her in this tiny little town in Vermont. Population maybe 500, and that's counting cows and dead folks. Grandma's house sat at the end of a long gravel road, surrounded by maple trees that looked beautiful during the day and terrifying at night. She was sweet, always baking something, always humming, but her house had this heavy silence. You know, that kind that sits in your chest, like the walls are holding their breath. The first night I got there, she showed me to my room upstairs. It was small, cozy, old-fashioned, floral wallpaper, creaky floors, and this one full-length mirror hanging in the bathroom that looked antique as hell. It had a bronze frame with carved roses around the edges. She said it used to belong to my great-grandmother. Be careful with that mirror, Grandma told me, half smiling. It's been here longer than both of us. I laughed, but something about the way she said it didn't sound like a joke. That night, after unpacking, I went to brush my teeth. The bathroom light flickered, old wiring, I figured. The mirror was fogged up from Grandma's evening bath, so I wiped it with my hand. That's when I noticed something weird. The fog was clearing, but not evenly. It looked like letters. At first, I thought it was just streaks, but then the condensation faded enough for me to read it clearly. Hello, Lena. I froze. I hadn't written that. Grandma definitely hadn't. And the worst part, the letters looked fresh, like someone had just traced them from the other side of the glass. Grandma? I called, but she was downstairs. Silence. I wiped the mirror completely clean. Staring at my reflection, just me, pale and tired. I told myself maybe Grandma was messing around, or maybe the heat made patterns. But when I turned to leave, I noticed something that still makes my stomach twist thinking about it. My reflection didn't turn at the same time. It moved a second late. The next morning, I asked Grandma about the mirror while she made breakfast. Hey, that mirror upstairs, where'd it come from? She didn't look up from her pancakes. Oh, that old thing? Been in the family forever. Your great-grandmother brought it from her childhood home in Massachusetts. Was she okay? I mean, she didn't. Grandma cut me off with a laugh that sounded forced. She was fine, sweetheart. Don't go filling your head with ghost stories. But she wouldn't look me in the eye. That day, I stayed busy, walked into town, helped Grandma with laundry, tried to forget the mirror. But by the time night came, I couldn't shake it. When I brushed my teeth again, the same thing happened. Fog on the glass, then faint letters forming as if written from inside. This time it said, "Do you remember me?" I backed away, my toothbrush clattering into the sink. My heart was pounding. "Who are you?" I whispered before realizing how stupid that sounded. And then it smiled. Not me. It. My reflection tilted its head just a little and smiled. A second too late, I turned off the light and bolted to my room. I didn't sleep that night. The next morning, I told Grandma what I saw. She stopped stirring her coffee, her hand trembling slightly. "Lena," she said softly, "sometimes this house holds on to things. You shouldn't pay it any mind." What does that even mean? She didn't answer. She just stared past me like she was looking through me and whispered, "Just don't wipe the mirror again." That was the moment I knew something was seriously wrong. But of course I didn't listen, because that night around 2:30 a.m., I woke up to the sound of humming, soft, low, coming from the bathroom. Grandma's song. I got up, every instinct screaming not to go, but I did. The bathroom door was cracked open and the light inside flickered like a heartbeat. I pushed it slowly. The mirror was fogged over again, the humming stopped. And then, from behind the glass, my reflection raised its hand first. I stood frozen in the doorway. The reflection had its palm pressed against the glass like it wanted out, and for one long shaking second, I could see my breath fogging the air, but not hers. I slammed the door shut so hard the old frame rattled. My heart was racing, my skin prickling like static. I didn't even dare breathe until I was back under my blanket, eyes wide open, watching the crack of light under the bathroom door. The humming didn't come back, but I swear I heard something tap the mirror 3 slow knocks, then silence. When morning came, Grandma was already sitting at the table staring at her coffee. Her eyes looked heavier than usual, like she hadn't slept either. "You okay?" I asked, trying to sound normal. She smiled, then polite. "Did you sleep well, sweetheart?" I hesitated. "Not really." "The mirror. Don't talk about it," she said sharply, like a teacher scolding a kid. "Please, Lena, just drop it." I wanted to argue, but the look on her face stopped me. It wasn't anger, it was fear. Later that day, I explored the attic while Grandma napped. The air smelled like old cedar and mothballs, and sunlight poured through a single round window. Boxes were stacked everywhere, Christmas lights, photo albums, random antiques. In one box, I found old black and white photographs. Some were of Grandma as a little girl, but one caught my attention. A woman standing in front of a mirror. Same mirror, same frame, but the woman wasn't smiling. Her eyes were wide, terrified, and the reflection behind her was smiling. The handwriting on the back said, "Margaret minus 1928. That was my great-grandmother. I stared at it for a long time before hearing the floorboards creak behind me. "Find something, honey?" I nearly jumped out of my skin. Grandma stood in the doorway, her voice soft but her eyes empty. I showed her the photo. "Who's Margaret?" She sighed, taking it from me. "My mother." "She looks scared," I said. "She was," Grandma whispered. "And she had good reason to be." She sat down on the old rocking chair and stared out the window. "When I was little, she talked to that mirror every night. Said she could see her sister in it, Mara, but Mara had died years before. She thought the mirror let them stay connected." Grandma swallowed hard. Then she started saying the reflection wasn't her sister anymore. It would move when she didn't, smile when she cried. One night, she screamed so loud the neighbors called the police. They found her in that bathroom, mirror shattered, hands bleeding. She kept saying, "She's out now." I felt a cold wave run through me. What happened to the mirror? Grandma's voice broke. "My father fixed it, said it was part of her. We could never throw it away." She looked at me, then eyes watery, voice trembling. "I should have gotten rid of it years ago." That night, I tried to avoid the bathroom altogether. I brushed my teeth downstairs, turned on every light I could, and tried to convince myself it was all some psychological thing like the power of suggestion or whatever. But when I passed the bathroom door on my way to bed, I froze. The light inside was on. I hadn't turned it on. The door creaked open slowly on its own, just enough for me to see the mirror. It was clear, no fog. But my reflection wasn't looking at me. She was facing sideways, staring into the dark corner of the room, like she saw something I couldn't. I whispered, "Stop it." She didn't move. Then, slowly, she turned her head toward me, but her eyes weren't right. They were slightly darker, the pupils too big, her smile too wide. I backed away, heart slamming. "Grandma!" I yelled, running downstairs. She came out of her room, half asleep, terrified. What happened? The mirror, it's doing it again. But when she came upstairs with me, the bathroom was dark. The light was off. The mirror was normal, just my tired reflection staring back. "I don't see anything," Grandma said softly. "Go to sleep, Lena." I tried. God, I tried. But around 3 a.m., I woke up again, not to humming this time, to laughter. It was quiet, soft, coming from the bathroom. The kind of laugh that sounds like someone pretending to be happy. I crept out of bed, holding my phone flashlight. The laughter stopped the moment I reached the door. The light flicked on by itself, and there I was again in the mirror, except now my reflection wasn't alone. There was someone standing behind me. A shadow, tall, still. I turned around fast, nothing there. When I faced the mirror again, the shadow was gone, but my reflection's lips were moving. No sound, just motion, like she was trying to tell me something. I leaned in closer. "What are you saying?" And then right before the light flickered out completely, I swear I heard it. A whisper that didn't come from me. Let me in. After that night, sleep stopped being a thing. Every creak in the floor, every whisper of wind against the windows made my chest tighten. I started keeping my bedroom light on phone flashlight under my pillow like a kid afraid of the dark. But honestly, I was afraid. The next morning, Grandma looked worse than I'd ever seen her. She was pale, eyes red from crying, hands shaking as she poured coffee. She didn't ask if I'd slept. She already knew I hadn't. I finally broke. "Grandma, what's happening in this house?" She froze, her spoon clinking against the mug. Then she said something that chilled me more than any ghost ever could. "It's not the house, Lena, it's the bloodline." She motioned for me to sit. The morning light through the kitchen blinds cut thin stripes across her face. She looked older than she did yesterday, fragile, almost translucent. "When I told you about my mother," she began quietly, "I left something out. After she shattered that mirror, she disappeared for 3 days. When she came back, she wasn't the same. She called me by the wrong name. She'd hum songs she never knew before. And sometimes when she smiled, Grandma's voice cracked. It wasn't her smile." I swallowed hard. "You think I know?" she interrupted. "Whatever was in that mirror, it got out. And it's been trying to come back ever since." I sat there shaking my head. "That's not possible. You're saying some ghost or whatever's been haunting our family for generations?" Grandma met my eyes with that tired, hopeless stare. "Not haunting, sweetheart, waiting. That night, I didn't even want to go near the bathroom. I tried to sleep early, but the air in the house felt wrong, heavy, like something was pressing down on it. Around midnight, I heard footsteps in the hallway. Slow, deliberate. 'Grandma?' I whispered. No answer. The steps stopped right outside my door. Then softly a knock, 3 slow taps, just like before I opened the door. The hallway was empty. The air was cold enough to make my skin prickle. Then, down at the end of the hall, the bathroom light flickered on by itself. I don't know what possessed me to walk toward it. Maybe curiosity. Maybe fear pretending to be bravery. But as I stepped closer, I realized something strange. The floor was wet, like someone had just gotten out of a bath. I peeked inside. The mirror was clear, bright under the buzzing light. My reflection looked terrified, but so was I. So it made sense. Until it didn't, because my reflection tilted her head. I didn't. She whispered something soundless again, lips moving slow and careful. I raised my phone and recorded, zooming in. She mouthed the same 3 words as before, "Let me in." Then the bathroom door slammed shut behind me. I screamed and grabbed the handle. It wouldn't budge. The lights flickered wildly, buzzing, the sound of static filling the room. The mirror fogged over instantly, and a handprint formed from the inside. Not mine. Long fingers, almost too long, dragging down the glass like it wanted to break through. "Stop," I shouted, pounding the door. "Grandma, help." The mirror rattled on the wall. Cracks spread from the corners like spider webs. And through the cracks, I saw eyes, dark, hollow eyes staring from the other side. My reflection's mouth stretched wider, tearing open into an impossible grin. Then, suddenly, the door flew open. Grandma grabbed me by the arm and yanked me out. She slammed the door shut and pulled me into her room, locking it behind us. She held my face in her hands, trembling. "Did she talk to you?" I couldn't speak. I just nodded. "Oh God," she whispered. "It's starting again." After what felt like forever, she finally spoke. "I should have told you everything," she said, sitting on the edge of the bed. "The mirror doesn't just show reflections, it takes them, piece by piece. That's how it survives." I stared at her, voice shaking. "What do you mean, takes them?" When my mother looked too long, it started mimicking her before she moved. Then it started speaking in her voice. Eventually, she looked away. Eventually, it looked more like her than she did. My throat felt tight. "Why didn't you destroy it?" Her answer was almost a whisper, "Because it won't let me. Every time someone tries, something worse happens. Fires, accidents, deaths." We sat there in silence, the only sound the ticking of her old wall clock. Finally, I said, "Then we leave." "We just go." Grandma shook her head. "It's bound to the blood. If we leave it behind, it follows." I didn't believe her couldn't, but deep down, a cold truth was settling in my chest. That mirror wasn't just glass and metal, it was a doorway. And something was on the other side, learning how to walk through. When Grandma finally fell asleep, I sat there awake, staring at the locked door. Then my phone buzzed. A new video notification. Saved video, 2:47 a.m. My heart dropped. I hadn't recorded anything. I opened it. It was footage from earlier when I'd filmed the mirror. But this time, the reflection was moving long after I'd run away. It was smiling, waving, and whispering my name. I didn't sleep after that. How could I? I just sat on the floor with the lights on, staring at my phone screen. My own face stared back from that video, except it wasn't mine. The longer I watched, the clearer it became. The eyes were wrong. The smile was stretched too wide. The reflection was alive. At 3:12 a.m., my phone died. Right then, the humming started again. Soft at first, the same tune Grandma always hummed when she cooked. Only this time, it was coming from the bathroom. I crept into the hallway, my heart pounding so hard it felt like the walls could hear it. The light under the bathroom door flickered, pulsing in time with the humming. I grabbed the old iron candle holder from the table. It was heavy, solid. If that mirror was cursed, maybe smashing it was the only way. The moment I pushed the door open, the humming stopped. The mirror was clear, and I wasn't in it. The bathroom was empty except for me, but the reflection showed the opposite. Her standing there, smiling, same clothes, same face, but colder. Too perfect. She raised her hand slowly and pressed her palm to the glass. Without thinking, I lifted mine too. The moment our hands lined up, the glass felt warm, then soft, like skin. I yanked back, but something grabbed me, a force pulling from inside the mirror. I screamed, swinging the candle holder as hard as I could. The glass cracked, once, twice, then shattered completely. The air rushed out of the room, cold and violent, like a breath being sucked away. I hit the floor, coughing, shards scattering everywhere. The light above me burst. The room went black. When I opened my eyes, everything was quiet again. The mirror was gone, only the empty frame left hanging, rocking slightly. I stumbled to Grandma's room. She was sitting up in bed, eyes wide open, whispering my name over and over. "Lena, Lena, what did you do?" "I broke it," I gasped. "It's gone." "It's over." Her face went pale. "No," she said softly. "You don't destroy it. You release it." By morning, Grandma was gone. Her bed was empty, sheets perfectly smooth, as if no one had slept there at all. The front door was open, her slippers still by the rug. I searched the entire property, screaming her name until my throat burned. Nothing, just that eerie quiet, the kind that makes you realize how alone you are. Finally, I went back to the bathroom. The mirror's frame still hung on the wall, empty, reflecting nothing but the faded wallpaper behind it. For a moment, I thought I saw movement in it, like a shimmer, but when I blinked, it was gone. The police said she must have wandered off. Dementia, maybe, happens with old age. They searched the woods for days, but never found her. I went home after the funeral, though there wasn't even a body to bury. Life went back to normal, or tried to. But things started slipping, little things. When I brushed my hair, I'd catch a glimpse of my reflection moving half a second late. When I laughed, I'd swear I heard an echo, not from the walls, but from the glass of my bedroom window. And then one morning, I woke up to steam on the bathroom mirror at home, my own mirror, in my apartment, hundreds of miles from Grandma's house. The fog had formed words. "Thank you, Lena." My knees nearly gave out. I wiped the glass, heart racing, but the message stayed. Like it had been written under the surface. I stumbled back, my breath shaking. The reflection smiled. Not me, her. She tilted her head, same as before, same slow, unnatural movement. Then, as my stomach dropped, she whispered something I'll never forget. "Your grandmother says hello." The mirror went dark, and in the faint reflection of the hallway behind me, I saw her, Grandma, standing just out of the light, face pale, eyes black, lips curling into that same impossible grin. She raised her hand, palm open. I turned to look, no one there. But when I looked back at the mirror, my reflection wasn't alone anymore. That was 6 months ago. Since then, I've covered every mirror in my apartment. The TV stays off, the windows fogged. I don't even look into my phone camera anymore, because sometimes, even when it's dark, I can still see her behind me. And every once in a while, when I'm too tired to fight sleep, I swear I hear her humming through the walls. It's getting louder. And I'm starting to forget which reflection is mine. And